I'm Cordell Haymon. I've been a member of University Presbyterian Church for about 38 years. So the assignment for this little interview was to think of a book or a person or a work of art or something that changed your life. And my first reaction to that assignment was, there's nothing that I could think of that would fall into that category. But on further reflection, I realized that there is a book that I could claim was life-changing for me. And so I brought it with me today. This little book, you might notice, doesn't have any title on it. But it's a book that was given to me by my wife. And I'll give just a moment of the background of the book. So I met Ava when I was 16 years old and she was 15 at a National Science Foundation Summer Institute at the University of Houston. And we were there for 6 weeks together, both being scientists and mathematicians. And of course, she later became a poet, and a very accomplished one. But she was already writing poetry as a teenager. And at some point, she wrote down some of her poems that were more or less about me, I guess. And as I think back on it, when she wrote these in handwriting while she was in high school and also a freshman in college, I think I can look at these and see, well, that's how I came to marry her. So if a book can be life-changing, I think nothing is more life-changing than choosing someone to live with for now more than 50 years. So I thought it might be in keeping with the purposes of this interview for me to just, first of all, I'll show you the book, and there's a message on the inside to keep this book, and I will write more poems in it as they come along. And then you can see that these poems are handwritten in ink in the handwriting of a teenager. Nice handwriting, by the way. And they're various poems that she wrote during that time. The dedication of the book says, "From the writer of this book to its author. Merry Christmas, 1961. So, yes. So here's the first poem, and I'll just take the time to read that, if I may. The context of this is that I was raised in a family with a Jewish mother and a father whose family were Pentecostal, though he himself didn't take to it much. Ava was not only the daughter of a Baptist minister, but the granddaughter and the great-granddaughter and the niece of a long line of Baptist ministers. And so when she went back home and reported to her family that she had taken up with this boy who was, if anything, Jewish, or partly anyway, this was a bit horrifying in their family circumstances. So here's a poem she wrote in February of 1961, and it's entitled Resignation. When I was young and my soul delirious, I thought of life in rare moments serious, as a merry old man with a friendly laugh, a grandfather beard and a walking staff, who loved his funny children. I met you then, but thought not of love. You held my hand in its tutored glove. You smiled at my doctrine, and I at your lack. For the first time, no rain was holding me back. I learned how to live. For sun-brilliant months, we screamed children's fun. We swam and we splashed till our gold day was done. It was time to think, lose the glee of the fool. Why is cold moonlight somber on new silvered pool? I had learned how to love. With this daybreak of thinking, the truth black dawned plain. With my childish eyes gone, I saw you as but pain. You're forbidden, different, not made for my fate. I loved above life what I'd been taught to hate. I learned confusion. My world is whirling and rifted apart. The halves of my mind contest for my heart. I sobbed, you can't have me, for I was reared sold. I hated the great teaching that molded my soul, but it is myself. I'm older than those times, my soul but a blot. I've learned that life is a bitter old sot who loathes himself on his brimstone throne and twists his children to hear them groan, laugh shrieks at eon-planned irony. The end.